Okay, so here's why I'm doing this video. I, from time to time, get asked, I've been keeping a bit of a low profile, I would say the last, 5, 6, maybe even 10 years, let's just say, let's go that far. And I do get asked a lot, like, hey man, what are you up to? You guys some of you might know me from back in the day when I, played music full-time, toured, all that kind of stuff. And so I do get questions from time to time, like, what are you up to? And, I have kept a pretty low profile on purpose. I've been kind of tucked away in the closet, and not the closet, sorry. Not that closet. What's another way to say that? I've been hunkered down, focused on, family and work and business and stuff like that. So, but I do get asked, what are you up to? What are you doing? And the truth is, I'm not going to get into all of this in this video. I'm going to do a bunch more of these videos just to kind of explore all that. But the truth is, I've been starting businesses, running businesses, and especially the last 3 years, I've been pretty deep down in the AI rabbit hole. And, when it first kind of started surfacing on a commercial use, like AI has been around for, like, we know this, right? AI has been around since like the 50s. Maybe we don't know this, but it has been around a long time. A lot of us use it every day without even knowing it in our phones. Anyways, I'm not going to make this video about that, but the reality of it is it's been around for a while. But on a commercial level, on a user-friendly level, the last 3 years. And so I kind of like right away got into it, and I actually restructured my entire company around it. Again, not for this video, might share that a little bit later. But one of the things that, people like to know is, first of all, what are your thoughts on it? And also, what kind of tools are you using, and are they good? Are they not so good? What can you do with them? And so I've done, lots of training and some sessions and some workshops on AI and how to integrate it into the workplace. But what I wanted to do with just this kind of quick intro video was just give you a little bit of a teaser on some of the things that you can do with it. And so I'm going to show you this here in a minute, but my goal is to actually do a bunch of sort of these training videos, reaction videos, testing out different apps and just showing you how, you can use them on a creative level. I know it's very controversial. There's a ton of swirling noise, especially in the creative circle in terms of, good, bad. I'll say this, just like anything, there's good use and there's not so good use. There's the good side of it, there's the evil side of it. That could go for anything, not just AI. But anyway, I'm open to that conversation. I actually think it's kind of fun to dialogue about it. I'm one of the people who actually have really taken advantage of it and put it to good use. And so I wanted to, on this first video, just kind of show you some of the applications, some of the possibilities that you can use it for. And so what I'm going to show you now is basically an example of, okay, so let me set the stage. In the business that I run, that I own, it's called Creative Ready, and we do a lot of audio-based advertising. So, jingles and radio commercials and audio logos and things like that. And we sell them to radio stations so that radio stations can then go and sell them to their advertisers, to their local business advertisers. So, we're constantly writing and producing and demoing and just all this kind of stuff. And, this one particular project was a radio station that came to us and said, hey, we love what you do for all these local businesses. Can you actually do something like that for us, for our radio station? And so this was a station out of Portland, Maine. They said, we're rebranding our entire station, and we would love for you to write us kind of like almost like a bit of a theme song, like not so much a jingle, but kind of more of like an intro theme song to kick off this rebrand. So they didn't want the traditional, radio imaging, like the 100.9. They didn't want that. They wanted something that was more suited to their listeners and more kind of like a radio hit. It was a really fun project, and I knew right away who I was going to pull in for this. A good friend of mine, Francois Goudreault. Again, if you're in my circle, you'll know I produced a lot of records. Back in the day, a band that I worked with called Hello Kelly, which is Francois. We did a lot of work together, and he's just an extremely talented singer-songwriter. And so I knew right away, I'm like, I'm going to pull Francois in for this because he's totally up for this task. And so we had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not, maybe we'll do a separate video on that whole process, which was quite fun. But I want to show you sort of what we came up with, and then how I was able to kind of use it on an AI level to present an actual demo. Basically what happened was, and this is how we do all of our jingles, and we call them singables. Basically we would come up with some ideas, some taglines, some lyrics, and some melodies, and then we will put it into like a demo form. And so normally that's like an acoustic guitar and a vocal. And so let me play you this. I'm going to play you the original demo. So Francois, what he would do is he would come up with some kind of rough ideas, and then we would go back and forth. And now he did the majority of the writing. My role usually is in producing it and editing and maybe refining some lyrics and some melodies and the arrangement. But for the most part, this is Francois's genius. And so he presented 3 ideas. I'm just going to play you one. And so again, the idea was we want some lyrics and some things that are synonymous with Portland, Maine, which is a really beautiful city in Maine. And then they also wanted to incorporate some lyrical and melodical content from the music they play on their station, 100.9, which was like 80s and 90s rock. Okay, so when you listen to this, you'll hear some of that reference. And again, just the creative genius of Francois. But here's the demo. So this is where we got it to as far as one of the ideas. And let me just stop talking for a minute and play you this idea in its demo state. The flavor. Let me rewind that. Well, it's not rewinding. We don't rewind. We refresh. Here we go. Since they're from away, they'll never know what makes us Mainers. Lost track of the day at Old Port, tasting all the flavors. Hike up by the bay and catch a show at Maine State Pier. If you're heading to my town, kid, you can't get there from here. We are a fluorescent horizon, I'm taking it in. Sunsets over Casco, just like we were kids. The music's taking me back now. The memories go on and on and on and on. The soundtrack to feeling alive. Turn it up, sing along, it's a good time. Portland's one of a kind. Rewind 100.9. Okay, so just again, a 60-second little intro song that they were wanting to make the theme song. Now, side note, this is kind of a sad thing, but this was one of 3 ideas. The other 2 were just as good. Like just hearing that on its own, just with an acoustic guitar and Francois's vocals, I'm like, that's great. This is a great little jam. Anyway, so we presented it to it. The general manager of the station absolutely loved it and was freaking out. He was just like, I'm so excited to do this. I've always wanted to do this. Unfortunately, he needed to get the AOK from corporate. And so when they showed the powers that be, they kind of just scratched their heads and are like, I don't get it. What is it? And they basically were like, they kiboshed the whole thing. And they wanted just a traditional 100.9. And so unfortunately, that's what they went with. But the station owner loved it. And Francois and I were kind of bummed out because we actually wanted to produce these tracks the way he had written them. Anyway, I digress. Bit of a side story. But that just in and of itself is a great little acoustic, song. And so normally what we would do is if the client had said, yes, we're going with this, well, then we would then bring all the musicians into the studio and then cut that as a full production. Well, because we didn't go that route, or they didn't go that route, we never ended up going that far. So this is where we jump into the AI world. I've been using these tools, like I said, for almost 3 years now. One of the tools I use is called Suno. And it is, I think it's like somebody says like Punjabi for listen up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm correct. No, wait. Tell me if I'm correct in the comments, or correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But basically, this is a great app. It's one of the best ones when it comes to music. Like I said, 3 years ago, I started using it just as a joke, and it was like just not almost all of the AI stuff that like 2.5, 3 years ago was really just a joke. You'd get some laughs and whatever else. I mean, but now it's completely different. And I'm not going to go too deep into that right now. But anyway, so this is an app that I've been using for a while. And so when this project resurfaced in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to run this through Suno to see kind of what it would do on a production level, because we never really got the chance to do it. So this is why I want to just show you what can be done. Okay, keeping in mind that acoustic and vocal demo that Francois sent, here is what running it through Suno sounds like. And you just upload it, you give it a few prompts, and you just give it some parameters basically. But this is what it comes up with in a matter of about 20 seconds. If you haven't heard kind of what is all happening in the AI world, this could potentially blow your mind. Keep in mind, no recording happened here beyond Francois's acoustic guitar and his vocal. This is what it came up with.
Since they're from away, they'll never know what makes us Mainers. Lost track of the day at Old Port, tasting all the flavors. Hike up by the bay and catch a show at Maine State Pier. If you're heading to my town, kid, you can't get there from here. We are a fluorescent horizon, I'm taking it in. Sunsets over Casco, just like we were kids. The music's taking me back now, the memories go on and on and on and on. A soundtrack to feeling alive, turn it up, sing along, it's a good time. Portland's one of a kind, rewind, 100 Tide 9.
Okay, so it kind of flubbed that last 100.9, and that's just because I had the lyrics in wrong. But wow, I mean, 30 seconds of generating, and that's what it came up with. I mean, I can't even get drums to sound that good, and I've been producing, stuff for 25 years, and so anyway, kind of crazy. That's a completely made up band. Like, it's completely made up out of thin air. And that is a band that I would probably pay money to go and see. It's just absolutely crazy. And so, like I said, I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a teaser into my world and kind of what I've been doing, some of the tools that I've been using. It's only going to get better. In regard to AI, it's only going to get better. And so, but that sounds pretty darn good to me, especially from just trying to paint a picture to a client, like a spec or, a demo. That is pretty incredible. And then there's so many layers. I mean, you can actually dive into that and pull out the stems and drums and vocals and redo things and add things and actually make it your final polished track. So it's pretty incredible. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of, again, peel back the curtain a little bit in terms of what I'm doing with my business and kind of where I'm going. And I get asked a lot, like, hey, can you kind of share some of the stuff you're experimenting with or what you're doing, what tools you're using for AI, what's good, what's not. So that's kind of my goal, is to do a bunch of these videos, do some tutorials, do some reaction videos, just have some fun with it. It's been really fun for me the past little while diving back into music, because I've been so kind of deep into the commercial side for so many years, like doing jingles and whatever else. And, it's great, but it's not my roots. So so it's been kind of fun with having access to tools like this to really, dig up some old music, some demos, some songs, and kind of hear what they would sound like fully produced. And so it's kind of revived in me some creativity that I thought had maybe died. And so I'm excited to sort of explore that a little bit more, but would love for you to come along and join me on this journey. If you've got questions, put them in the comments. If you've got things you want me to check out and give feedback on, let me know. Even if you absolutely hate AI and you've got nothing good to say about it, say that in the comments as well, because that will help these videos get out there. And so excited to do this, explore this, excited to do it with you. So come along for the ride, and I look forward to what it might look like. In the meantime, go Jays go. We'll see how the World Series pans out. I'm excited. And hope you're all doing well, and we'll see you on the next one.